When Steel talks, everybody listens.
When Steel Talks has on the telephone direct from Trinidad Mr. Clive Bradley, who is the resident arranger for Whitco Desperadoes, who are currently second in the panorama semifinals. Mr. Bradley, good day. Good to have you on the phone once again. Good morning for us and good afternoon for you, I believe. Would like to, have a few words with you to share with the pan community worldwide. And I'm going to be asking you a few questions. What's the mood of Desperadoes after its semi-final placing?
Well, they're very up. Everybody's very up. Of course, they're apprehensive, and they're still looking to see what's going to happen next week, but you can't predict and stuff like this. There's a lot of parameters involved in whatever the final result. Everybody's up on it.
Who chose the song What Up Cookie? Did you or did the band?
Well, it was left to me formally, but the tune actually chose itself because we were supposed to have done a couple of tunes from which to choose one. But this thing kept developing into something that could be useful, so I just continued doing it. And then it would have involved me doing more than one tune. It was 8 minutes. And if I had done 3 tunes, it would have been 24 minutes. I'm only being paid for one tune.
And did you have any reservations about arranging a Wop Cookie, considering it doesn't appear to be a typical choice for a panorama tune?
Well, actually, I don't know what is a typical choice. If it appears to me, what I do is I look into the tune. The arrangement is manufactured from the lyrics and the phraseology. More or less. So I just look into the tune and see what I can use. And I don't see why a lot of people thought it wasn't a suitable tune, but I don't see nothing wrong with it. I did high pass. I went to New Towns a couple of years ago, and nobody else did it. Actually, nobody in the whole country. And I was able to see that it was going to be a good tune. So I think it depends upon your volume of knowledge as far as the panorama thing is concerned.
What major challenges did arranging the song present, if any?
Well, actually, Shadow's music typically is not very melodic. Okay? So seeing as part of your tools involves melodic lines, that was the only challenge really. But then again, in the spirit of the thing, every verse Shadow sings is different to the previous one. So then I suppose I borrowed some of his license and ran into some middle ground as far as the melodic part of it is concerned. The phrases, he has 6 very short phrases. He doesn't have any long lines as compared to, say, Kitchener or Sparrow or one of the other singers. But I had worked with Shadow for a number of years, and I have one panorama with one of Shadow's tunes away. I think only in New York City. I can't remember what year it was. But his music is cute, it's amusing, and it's appealing. So I thought I would just put some creamery on top of it. And in the interpretation, this is Obia thing, sort of voodoo type thing. So I decided to make it a little as weird as possible. And I think people agree that it is a very strange sort of arrangement. And that's what you hear.
Okay, you are a very visual person. For instance, in the past you've been able, and that's what you've done, draw pictures in your mind and put the pictures into the arrangement. You visualized, for instance, in my house you had a certain vision of characters. What are the characters that you have envisioned that brings together your arrangement for Whoop Cookie?
Well, actually, fortunately, a couple of years ago, a friend of mine introduced me to this cookie business within the context of the Obia. He wasn't an Obia person, but I realized that the cookie brew was part of some sort of ritual. So I allowed him to do this thing, so it brought me that experience brought me a little closer to what this was all about. And I've seen movies, and I've heard descriptions of this opera. Of course, I don't need to perform any of that or to be involved in the performance of that. But I used whatever knowledge I gained from the song and from what I had experienced before, and tried to do the interpretation surrounding that sort of thing. You know, like they'd have a calabash and this cocaine broom that they put on his shoulder as it reminds me of when the queen is knighting somebody. She puts the sword in it. Alright. But according to the song, your man has to hit this guy or whoever it is with this cocaine broom. So the music has a lot of that. I stayed close to the cocaine business. You know, and I think I succeeded at presenting a picture of the cocaine thing.
We understand that the crowd response to Desperadoes' performance on Sunday was, simply overwhelming, and you were actually in front of the band.
Yeah, but from crowd response, we won. I mean, we won. We can't be beat as far as the crowd response goes, because there isn't any person who said anything against whatever happened, except maybe the results. But everybody was totally enthused by the performance of the band, including me, and I suppose the judges, everybody can't win. I'm satisfied so far. We still have a couple of days on which to work on it.
Are you, at this point, or any of the bands, privy to comments from the judges at the semifinals?
You usually get some pieces of paper from each one of the judges, but I don't usually read these things because I think I'm experienced enough to know where the shortcomings are. And then there are a lot of contrary comments, like one judge will say, oh, the introduction is beautiful, and the other judge will say, oh, the introduction is not good, So within that context, I just give them a cursory glance over the results, over the comments, but I usually know what I have to do.
So what else do you plan to do with the song in a nutshell before the Panorama Finals?
Well, I would enhance the arrangement. I have plans, but I don't usually disclose the plans.
We know that. We just thought we'd ask the question still.
Yeah, the plans are usually privy to me alone.
The new 8-minute time limit as opposed to the old 10-minute performance time given for the Panorama selection, has that affected your musical approach in any way?
Not at all, not at all. As a matter of fact, on the whole, it affects the total exercise in a positive way, in that there is less room for boredom, unless you don't know what you're doing. Because whatever moods that you have to infuse into the arrangement, they appear on a quicker basis, they come quicker. So there's always a movement, the music moves quicker. It has not really affected my approach. I don't know what it has done to the other arrangers, but I think it is a better time limit as compared to 10 minutes, because there are a lot of arrangers or budding arrangers, if I may take the license to say so, who run out of ideas after 6-7 minutes, and the thing becomes just a regurgitation of things that you have done before or whatever, so it becomes kind of boring. 8 minutes is just enough time for you to get the ideas out there, and if you can't get the ideas out there in 8 minutes time, then you're running into trouble. I liked it. The 8-minute time limit was what they had for the Republic panorama thing, and it suited me fine. I think it is a better time. Besides, when the competition gets going faster too, 10 minutes for every band. If you got 14 bands at 140 minutes and more than 2 hours of played music, you understand? And it is very difficult in the air to sit down there and listen to all of that in a row, in a long space of time.
Is the 2-week layoff between semifinals and the final competition a good thing in your estimation?
Yes, this is fantastic because, guys, you can actually do a completely new tune in that time. So it gives one enough time to examine the work you have done and to see whatever corrections you can. If you can correct whatever your mistakes are in 2 months, you might as well do in 2 weeks. May as well don't bother to do it.
What can the people expect come final night from Desperadoes and Clive Bradley?
Well, they can expect what I always expect. I expect to win it. That's what I expect everybody to expect.
Okay. Good enough. Are you aware of the actual number of players that Desperadoes has currently?
Vaguely. The old number limit was 100, but I've heard rumors before the thing that they will allow another 20 people. But I don't already involve myself in that. I listen to the overall balance of what is happening there, you know. And the number of players doesn't affect me in one bit, because the first panorama I won, there were 67 players, as opposed to everybody's 100.
Point taken.
Yeah, you must have enough knowledge to know how to make a band sound large and how you make a band sound small. See, harmonies and orchestration sort of enlarge the sound. That's what they use to enlarge the sounds or to diminish the sounds. All right? And I gather it's 100 plus, maybe more than 100, but there is a limitation to the number of people. I'm not familiar with the number.
Mr. Bradley, thank you so much. It's been really good talking to you. When Steel Talk is very pleased to share your views with the worldwide pan community. We wish you nothing but the best, and we look forward to hearing some great music from yourself and Desperadoes come final night on February 21st.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you being so gracious to allow me the time. Bye-bye.
When Steel talks, everybody listens.